If you're a beginner looking to invest in the stock market, one of the key questions you may ask yourself is how long does it take to learn the stock market? Most importantly, another question is what is the best way to learn how to invest in the stock market so that you can grow your wealth over time? In this video, I'm going to share with you some estimates as to how long it takes to learn the stock market, but most importantly, what I want to do is provide you with some very valuable resources that are going to allow you to become a better stock market investor faster. Okay, so let's get straight into the answer of how long does it take to learn the stock market. And the answer that you're going to get is based on research that we conducted to be able to write this article, which there will be a link in the description so you can also read it for yourself. With that being said, let's get straight into the answer. And the answer really depends on the different asset type that you're looking to learn and investing. So some of the most common asset types are stocks, there's also options, there's futures, there's forex, and now recently within the last couple of years there's also been crypto. So depending on the asset type that you want to learn and the type of investment strategy that you want to follow, the answer might be different. So for example, here stocks, we found that it usually takes about 1 to 2 months to understand the basic concepts about stock investing. However, this also depends on the type of stock investing that you do. For options, we found this to be a little bit more complex, so usually between 2 to 4 months. However, one thing that you'll see right here is that it says more complex but higher rewards, and then if you go into futures are known to be a lot more complex but potentially with higher rewards, and as you can see, this is about 3 to 6 months. The one thing that is really key for you to keep in mind is that in finance there's a very important principle, and that is the fact that usually the higher there is of a potential return, that also means that there's more risk involved with that investment. So just because in options and futures there's a potential for a higher return doesn't mean that you're going to get a higher return on your performance. And the reason why is because you might earn a lot, but then next thing you know you're gonna lose a lot, and then your overall return is not going to be very good. Versus if you have something that has lower risk, such as investing in stocks, your return could be lower, but there's also lower potential for you to have negative losses. So keep that in mind, that's really important. The other topic, which is absolutely critical, is what is going to be your analysis method for whether or not you want to invest in a particular stock or security. In general, there are two different approaches that you can take. One of them is fundamental analysis, and this process, basically what it is it involves looking deeply into a particular investment opportunity. So if you're investing in a stock, for example, you'll be looking at the financial statements, you'll be looking at market reports, you'll be looking at analyst estimates to decide whether or not at any given time a particular company is overvalued or undervalued, and that will allow you to make a good investment decision. This can take months, or it could also take a few years to master depending on your current financial level knowledge. The other approach that you can take, which oftentimes is a little bit faster to learn, is technical analysis. And technical analysis, I'm sure you've seen it, but is the study of using charts and analyzing patterns within things like volume, market cycles, etc. to be able to decide whether or not you want to invest in a particular company. So if you've identified a particular trend in terms of Apple's stock price and it's a consistent trend, you can take advantage of that trend so that you can buy low, sell high, and make a profit. Something that I really want to emphasize is this. Personally, I believe more in fundamental analysis and fundamental investing, and the reason why is if you think about it, companies are not just pieces of paper that you can buy and sell, which is often misunderstood when it comes to stock investing, but they're actual assets that have a value attached to them. If you go in a private market and you try to buy a particular company, there's different ways in which those transactions happen and different ways to value how much a particular company is worth. You can do the same for stock investing, and it's a really powerful thing. If you look at some of the most successful stock investors over time, like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, etc., they all apply a very similar style of investing that allows them to identify when companies are undervalued, overvalued, and take advantage of those opportunities. But the one thing that I really want to emphasize is that you can make money and profitable investments with any type of investment strategy. I've seen people also profit from technical analysis as well as some other investment strategies like swing trading and all that type of stuff. But it really depends on your specific skill set and your preference, as well as understanding the risk that come along with each investment strategy. So be sure to take this into account before you decide on what investment strategy you want to apply and learn. When it comes to fundamental analysis, there's a whole bunch of resources that you can check out to be able to learn this very important skill set. One which I really like actually is this video of Bill Ackman, where he tells you everything you need to about finance and investing under an hour. It's a really good video that provides a lot of information and is very condensed. It's very powerful, so I highly recommend that you check this one out. We also have a whole bunch of videos that you can check out on our channel on the subject of valuation, stock calculations, and whatnot. The other thing that I recommend that you do is to listen to the absolute best when it comes to this investment strategy, and there's nobody better than Warren Buffett. So I highly recommend that you go on YouTube and you watch some of these Warren Buffett videos. So for example, this one's really good. You can also type individual questions into YouTube. So for example, how to value a stock, and you will see some really good videos out here. Some of them are actually based on Warren Buffett principles, and those are the ones that I recommend that you check out. Now what I want to do is also share with you some courses that are also worth checking out and potentially enrolling in. One course that I actually enjoyed and I wanted to give a shout is this one, the Complete Value Investing course. And if you get it on Udemy, it's actually not too much of a high price, especially considering the potential returns that you can get. So I recommend this course. We're not affiliated with them whatsoever, but I think the content that is presented here is quite valuable. The other resource that I found really valuable for fundamental investors is to understand valuation. That is one of the most crucial strategies and skills that you can develop as a successful fundamental investor. And one of the leading figures on this space is this guy right here. You can check out his channel, Aswath Damodaran, and he provides a whole bunch of videos that you can check out in this series on YouTube that are absolutely free based on his New York University lectures, and they include a whole bunch of different topics such as estimating the cash flows, the terminal value, blah blah blah. He also has a tiny little book that you can check out. I've read that book and I found it to be really valuable, but overall this will give you a very solid understanding of what it means and how it is that you can go ahead and value companies and do a good job at it. Now when it comes to the technical side of investing, there's not a lot of really valuable resources that I found out there, but this is because I'm not a technical investor myself. But one of them which I found to be very powerful for technical investors is to use TradingView, and the reason why is because their software offers a lot of really cool valuable features. For example, here we can look at the technical chart for Tesla, which is in this case very valuable to see, and we could modify this chart in many different ways. You can also start to draw different trends and whatnot to be able to identify patterns and do your technical analysis. So this is really good stuff in terms of the charting and the insights that you can get from it. But one of the things that I like about TradingView a lot is the fact that there's a social community behind it. So the commentary is on specific companies is very powerful. Here, for example, you can simply search for a company like Apple and then click on see overview, and what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to see a whole bunch of different metrics and stuff like that about Apple. But what I like about TradingView that I mentioned before is that there's a community behind it. So in this case, you can click here to see ideas, and these ideas are actual technical analysis performed by the community. So in this case, you can see the analysis itself, which is showing the TradingView chart, the data, and then most importantly, oftentimes there's some commentary that talks about what the analysis shows and what you should do do about it. In this case, you can see right now it says it's sell. So it's very important to not only to not take this for granted and do exactly what these people say, but to actually do your research yourself. But this can be helpful to be able to kind of validate some of your technical ideas and whatnot. Now you know roughly how long it takes to learn the stock market, but most importantly, you're equipped with some very valuable resources that are gonna allow you to become a better stock market investor faster. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications on so that way you get notified every time we release a new video like this that's gonna allow you to take your investing game to the next level. I'll see you in the next one.